Hello. It's been a little bit, everybody. Our first video of the year for the like 500 verse, I guess you would say. We're opening with the year with a great topic. This has been one that's been discussed on and off for probably like the last year or so, for as long as I've been doing music. Um, it's a nice little bridge. We have a lot of movie lovers and a lot of music lovers, and what is the thing that kind of comes together and all that? Music videos. So we are doing a draft today. I will bring in a man of many characters. He goes by That Bar Guy or Mr. Producer Man. Although some people think that's two separate people. No, we're not. We're not bringing him in. Okay, never mind.
Not on the panel, Brooklyn.
But you're still here. Like you are a character in the show.
What the hell is this, bro?
All right, let's bring in our panelists. The order was predetermined by a lovely random.org. So drafting first tonight would be one Melissa Woody. You were a big pusher for this for the show, or to do something with music videos. So I was glad to finally have you on here. What do you feel? How do you feel about music videos, and I guess how they portray their art?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, I feel like it's a good mix of like a movie and obviously utilizing music. And I think it forces the artist or whoever's creating the video to use like visual storytelling. Or of course you have those videos where you're just singing and dancing, and those are fun too. So I'm excited to see what everyone picks tonight, and excited to talk about music videos.
All right. Well, drafting second, another proprietor of music videos, the maestro himself, Mr. Jake Marangoni, drafting second tonight. Yeah, you have been known, Jake, for having an interesting take, I guess we'll say, on videos. A little outside of the norm, but it's nice. I get to explore some new stuff. How are you feeling about this draft, and how do you feel your list is going to hold up?
I feel pretty good. You know, I've been sort of someone who's been trying to get some sort of music video draft video sort of thing to do in this community, and I'm glad that we finally get to do it. As far as how I'll go today, it'll be interesting. We'll see how it goes. Like I sort of, with my choices, I was like, I've got the basic choice that I feel is a like definitive, what we all know, like iconic sort of stuff, and then my second choice is what I would consider like just something that I particularly love that goes into the weirdness, and I'll figure out like which one I want to go for each decade, but I have sort of a plan. We'll see how everything goes, but I'm just more curious to see everyone else's choices for music videos, because that's always the fun part.
Yeah. All right. Drafting third, ensuring that the Commonwealth has a majority over you filthy Americans, or actually I guess it's more so a tie than it is anything. It is Kelly. Kelly has another great lover of music videos. What was your prep like for this draft?
My prep is being 13 years old and having my music taste formed from VH1 countdowns. That is my prep. Like, it is ingrained in me at this point. So I feel like I'm picking the basic bitch choices, and I'm here to win with that. That's my attitude.
All right, going for the win. I like that competitive edge. And then we decided let's throw in a wild card here. Let's get in some interesting takes. Friend of the show, Mr. Bill Carriola. Now we were talking before about show or channels that these videos would play on. Would your draft board be more of like VH1 throughout the day, or would it be like VH1 from like 11 onwards?
Mine would be, you have that cousin with the funny smelling van that shows up at family functions, but he's always giving you mixtapes. He's like, you should check out this real good shit that you're not going to find. And that's kind of how I approach things. I don't draft for wins or polls. I draft where, I worked at a comic book store. That was the first job I had. And somebody always is coming in saying, hey, I like this. I don't know where to go from here. And it's my job to facilitate. You might not know these things. That's usually the way I pick things, the way I pick.
Okay. Well, how this is going to work is that there's going to be 5 categories that our panelists can draft from. That'd be the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s, 2010s, and then what we're calling a flex, which is anything in between that year. So if you want to add in a video from an extra decade, or if you want to go outside of the realms, maybe something that popped up just as early as yesterday, or as later as like before 1980, when videos were in their infancy. But let's get right into it. Melissa, you are up to pick. What is the number 1 overall pick for this draft?
It's tough. I'm gonna go with the 2010s category. And I'm going to choose the song. I'm sorry if I'm saying this wrong because it's in French. Papa Ute by Stromae. Okay, I did okay.
Why is Bart not just hanging out in here? Fucking come on.
I don't know. He should.
Just fucking get in here, Bart.
Shy. He's really
Papa Ute.
Papa Ute. So this title translates to "Dad, Where Are You?" in French, and basically the music video is about an absent father. Stromae portrays the father in the video, and he's very like plastic looking, almost like a Barbie doll, Barbie Ken, if you will. And there's some really cool dancing throughout the video, and I love the aesthetic of the video. It's very like 1950s with pastel colors, and I like the message of the song. Just I guess it's very personal to him because he lost his father at a young age. So this is kind of his interpretation of losing a father and just like the fear of maybe being an absent father when he becomes a father himself. So that's my number 1 pick.
Yeah, this is a cool choice. As a Canadian, I think you get bonus points for having a French video, and having that bilingualism represented in this list. Yeah, I like the aesthetic in it. You mentioned it's kind of like that 50s, kind of like suburban-y kind of feel. To be honest with you, if you've played Call of Duty, in particular Nuketown, it kind of looks like Nuketown. That map, and yeah, like the message of the video, you're right, it's weird where he's kind of like, it looks like almost like a wax figure, and yeah, I like when I had watched it, it seemed kind of like where like your older self seems kind of dead inside, and then you're kind of harnessing back to your youth to kind of like what makes things enjoyable. But yeah, this is a cool watch. Has anybody else watched this video? Has anybody heard of the song? Any thoughts? I'll start with Jake and work our way around.
Yeah, I had not heard of this one until right now. I'm currently watching the video as we talk. It seems quite like the aesthetic. I like the whole, it's a city sort of backdrop, and I think the dancing is actually pretty cool. It's an interesting choice.
Bill?
I have no idea what this is. I'm an uncultured swine.
Not often, though. Kelly.
I love that the first pick's like the rest of the panel hasn't heard it, because that's not so cool. It's like I want to be exposed to new things, and like you absolutely sold me with like the 50s and the pastels and the aesthetic of it all. So it sounds really artistic, and I kind of like to check it out.
Yeah. Okay. On to Jake. Second overall pick. Where are we going?
I mean, I have to take the basic choice, do I? Right? I feel like I have to for these ones. For the this early in the draft, I'm gonna go the 80s. I'm going the 80s. Probably when music videos were at its peak. You could say when they started to become such a huge art form. And I'm gonna take arguably the best music video ever made. I'm taking a-ha's "Take on Me." I'm just gonna do it. I'm just taking it. It's incredible. It's awesome. I love it. I love that music video. That was my introduction to the song. Was from watching that music video. I love the fact that it's about a girl who's transported into a cartoon comic book world. The black and white comic book aesthetic is just so just incredible to look at. The song is a banger. It rips. And I also love that the ending to that music video is a reference to the William Hurt movie Altered States, which I'm a big fan of, when he's constantly banging on the walls, trying to turn himself into human. I'm just like, that's from Altered States, and I think that's awesome. But everyone remembers this music video. It was the big one that really just pioneered the idea of making music videos an art form, and I just think it holds up so perfectly well. Like, it's just got so many views on YouTube. People watch it like to this day. It's an incredible, influential music video.
Yeah, I would agree in that this holds up quite well, considering that it's mostly just kind of like sketch art and pencil work. In terms of like kind of characters in music videos or like just kind of iconic shots, I always think of the army guys kind of coming in, and like that's the kind of the lasting image in it. I would agree song wise that this is the most 80s song out there. You can't get much more 80s with the synth. But yeah, ripped and Family Guy. So it's hit the fame of parody. But yeah, an iconic video. Bill, what are your thoughts on this?
I mean, I love this video growing up as a kid. It was always, anytime MTV always did the best videos of all time weekend countdown, this was always in the top 10 or especially the top 5. You just could not escape. It was this one. There's 2 others, just I won't spoil, just in case somebody has them. So, but we know what they are. So, but yeah, I also love that this aesthetic was borrowed. Like, was it like I think it's Nightmare on Elm Street 5, very similar with the black and white sketch drawing, like nightmares that like clearly came from this. And yeah, it's so good. I do love it. And also, it's a catchy ass song. It's their best song because what they had, The Living Daylights after this, and not much else. I'm just saying. They knew when they hit it, so.
Well, they had the acoustic version that they did. Was it just before the pandemic? Or
Does it count? Does it count?
No. What?
It's the same song. So.
Oh, okay. So this was on my shortlist too. So I don't care if you're going to help Jake's point because I need to gush about it. I like that. I wish that I could see sexy comic book bars wink at me and pull me into this comic world. I think it's great.
We all love that.
That's what that was 14-year-old me. Like, if that was true, would have loved it. I like the scene the most though is when he goes behind the painting and you see like him in the real life and her still in the drawing. So like that juxtaposition of the two, and yeah, as Brooklyn sort of said, like the army guys, like dudes with wrenches just came out of nowhere. Like there was no lead up to it. It's just suddenly guys with wrenches coming at you, trying to destroy you. And I don't know why, but I'm into it. And I like that throwing it back to the real world, how the waitress throws the comic book in the trash and she wakes up in the back room, like next to the garbage. Like very creative. I like this one a lot.
All right. And Melissa.
Yeah, so before the call, I said I might like pick a basic pick that I didn't actually like put on my list, and this was going to be it. I figured somebody would choose it. It's iconic. It's a great music video for any of the decades that we're going through. I'm glad I got chosen, but I kind of wanted to just stick to my guns and kind of choose some maybe underrated picks, but I think it's awesome.
All right, one of the high value music videos taken off of the list. Let's go over to Bill. Where are we starting?
I thought Kelly was 3.
Oh, nope. Let me double check.
You introduced me third, but I'm technically fourth. Billy's
Okay,
fourth.
good.
Okay, no.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, of the videos I have in my short list, I'm going to take this one. I think deserves to go in the top 3, 4, 5 here. I'm going to go to the 90s for this one. And there's one thing I always appreciated with music videos is that they would push the envelope of what you could kind of pull off. And one of my favorite bands for doing music videos is the band Primus. If you're ever familiar with them, holy Lord, everyone knows them because they did the theme for South Park, but they also have like an extensive music career. And my absolute, bar none, favorite Primus video is Mr. Kringle. The video for Mr. Kringle.
What?
I don't know what that was, but no, I'll shut the fuck up. That's fine. You can play your little funny joke. That's good. No, so the video for Mr. Kringle is actually directed by Les Claypool, and the entire thing is one shot, the whole thing. So the camera is planted, kind of at a Dutch angle, and Les Claypool, God bless him, is just total nightmare fuel in a pig suit with a suit and tie, and he's like singing, playing a stand-up bass. Meanwhile, An entire carnival goes on behind him. Just walks past. There's a guy on fire. There's a trapeze, and this is all done one take. And it's one of the coolest things I've ever seen. And in interviews, he's always said he's like the most proud of this because he put his heart and soul into it, and it comes through. And it's just a fantastic music video. So yeah.
Yeah, this is nightmare fuel. Absolutely.
Yep. No, it totally is.
I love one take videos and kind of the like the high risk, high reward that it kind of like where it can pay off or just kind of be on a bleh. But this pays off absolutely. It starts off, yeah, like you mentioned, like the pig guy wearing like having the upright bass, and then it's just like there's a weird mix at the start because you have like somebody dressed like somebody from Poison. The drummer's like seems like he's from Kiss. And then you have a multitude of a bunch of different things. Like you have a contortionist, and everybody's kind of popping in and out. And then at the end, everybody comes in this big kind of march. There's one kind of figure that comes in at the end that people need to see because it kind of just makes things even a little bit weirder. Like you thought that first costume was weird. Wait till the end. But yeah, check this out. Like especially if you. Even the song is great too. Like if you like the South Park theme and kind of the sound that they go for, I really like that low kind of funky bass, and then the guitar is like high pitched and really it's like offsetting in a way, but it works, in that it kind of keeps you uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But I'll pass it off to everybody else. Kelly, have you watched this?
I have not. It sounds interesting. I will watch it in the morning and not at night before I go to sleep. I might have my cat next to me just to make sure. But it's as you sort of said, one take video is so ballsy. So, and especially it sounds quite elaborate. So I would definitely be keen to see the artistic endeavor that it sounds like.
Melissa.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with this video. I'm familiar with My Name is Mud and Winona's Big Brown Beaver. I know those videos, but I was just watching a little bit of it. This looks pretty awesome, so I'll have to fully check it out. But I actually am not too familiar with this one.
Jake, this seems somewhat up your alley.
It does, and for some reason I'd never heard of it until right now. I'm watching it, and it looks awesome.
Yeah,
it looks absolutely chaotic and madness, and it just looks like wonderful.
Chaotic would be the perfect word to describe.
That's Primus for you. They were the '90s Rush, as they used to call themselves. So, yeah,
okay.
Yeah, because I think it was like Les Claypool. He was like doing an interview. I think he was on the Headbangers Ball, and they went fishing because, of fucking course, they did. And he's just like, we're like the Rush for this era because it's like Rush was like, oh, people that like music, but it was always like, you're a little dorky, you're a little weird, and that's kind of how we are. And it just perfectly sums up Primus to a T. So.
All right, Kelly, you have the next two picks.
I was just about to ask. I have the next two picks. I can go wherever I want for both. True, because remember I'm coming for blood.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, the producer in me has to go the 2000s. Because if we've done 2010s to 80s to 90s, I have to cap off the round with the 2000s and just get all the first picks out. I'm going with a definitive video. It was released in 2002. It dominated the airwaves. It dominated Rage, as Jake and I was talking about before, and probably every other music video channel. I'm going Without Me by Eminem.
Yes!
So you could not escape this video. I feel like this is Eminem at his peak creative-wise, in my opinion, because it's taking the real Slim Shady and taking it to the next level, and he hasn't topped it in like Just Lose It or videos that came before it. This one, that the whole premise is Rap Boy and with Dr. Dre. Like, I love their dynamic. I love the parodying. You get Elvis and E. You get Survivor. You get The Real World. You get everything that was Sally Jesse Raphael. Like, you get everything that was big at the time, and is just mocking it to the nth degree, and it's just fantastic, and the comedy is great. Like, I always think about that chorus when they're in the car and Eminem's got his arms going and Dr. Dre's like, no, this, like, we got to be cool. Like, I just love it. And of course the through line sort of thing is this young boy trying to buy different rap CDs. It's like, oh no, this is what you need. Like, the real Slim Shady. Like, I think this one is creative, fun, catchy as hell. You really couldn't escape it. You had at least one friend that had a copy of this album, and a big part of that, I think, is due to this video.
In some ways, still to this day, it feels almost like a rite of passage, where if this song comes on, you have to know at least the first and the second verse. If you can get the third, you're really good. But it was this and "Love the Way You Lie" were like ones that you had to know. But man, fucking unreal song. And I don't know if this is his best music video, but it's definitely in that group of awesome videos. This is pure Slim Shady era, where he is throwing shade at everybody and anybody that he can. The Moby line, he does a little bit on like the Real World, and then like a little bit on like award shows and whatnot. But yeah, like just kind of capitalizing on the comic book vibes and that everybody was kind of going for, and it held up. I would almost argue that this is like one of the 200 greatest songs ever. But yeah, I'll elaborate on that at a later time. Melissa, I'll start off with you.
Yeah, I will be honest. I'm way more familiar with the song than the video. Also, I don't know. Eminem, I appreciated him later in life more. When I feel like at the height of his like popularity, I wasn't really that into it, to be honest. So I'll have to revisit this video. I was kind of watching it a little bit. It seems familiar, but I know the song, but not so much the video. But good choice.
Jake.
Yeah, this is like seminal classic. If you're a kid, teenager growing up in the 2000s, this is a music video you definitely saw all the time. Eminem, just in general, yeah, he's really creative with the music videos, and I definitely had this in consideration. Not to go too much behind the scenes, but I also was I do have a soft spot for not Real Slim Shady. Goddamn, what is it called? What's the one? My Name Is. I really am a big fan of that music.
Yeah.
My Name Is a really good music video. Not to go too much behind the curtain, but Without Me is just really fantastic. I love the whole Batman and Robin parody. Yeah, you just get really good. It's probably the peak of Eminem's just creativity when it comes to his music videos. I'm a big fan of this one. This is a great choice. Dan,
Bill.
So, while when you're kids, like late and early teens, I'm sure Eminem's great. I'm in my 20s when Eminem hits, and it wasn't quite for me. Like I appreciated it. I appreciated the videos. He always was like very creative for that stance, and not for nothing, he is a fantastic MC. I've like more than come around to that later in life. I've actually enjoyed some of his later output personally. I think like Godzilla is probably one of my favorite songs of the last few years. That's just me, because that song fucking completely slaps. But I do remember this video very vividly because it got played a lot, and it is hilarious. So yeah, no, this is definitely a good choice. If you had to pick one of them, I probably would have went a different way, but I won't spoil it because in case somebody else picks it. But this is a damn fine choice, especially if you want good old fun time, funny Eminem. So,
all right, staying up on the podium. You start off round two.
Hang on. Yeah, I'm not giving up my space yet. Filibuster. Okay. When Jake said he was picking a basic bitch choice of the 80s, in my gut, I'm like, don't you do it. Don't you dare do it. Because I would have taken Take On Me as the second pick. But if Take On Me sort of showed a little bit what we can do with this genre, Michael Jackson's Thriller is the definitive video of the 80s. It holds up. It is a 13-minute video. I first saw this when my teacher brought it in on VHS of the video with the behind the scenes making of. So this is what Brooklyn was saying. This is music meets movies. It is pushing what we can do with the genre in the way that only Michael Jackson could have done at the time, being the biggest selling thing in the world. Everyone knows this music video. Everyone knows that orangey red leather jacket. They know the wolf makeup. They know the eyes that turn around. They know the dance. When I do this, everyone knows what I am doing. It's even in 13 going on 30. Everything. It is iconic to the nth degree, and I haven't even mentioned Bar Get Ready to Pop In. Vincent Price doing the narration during the middle part. I'm pandering. I don't care. I said I was going for blood. The fact that you get a full movie. You get a full movie before the video even starts. I watched it today in 4K. This video is now in 4K because it's that iconic. It starts 4 minutes in because they have a whole movie of them. I like the fact that it's Michael Jackson and his girlfriend in the movie. You know, they're watching themselves. We get the gif. I'm not done yet. We get the gif of Michael Jackson eating popcorn from this video.
Yes.
This sustains, as I said, it's Michael Jackson at the peak of his career. This is the biggest superstar, king of pop on the planet. This is the definitive one. As I said, everyone's still doing dance, still doing the gifts. This will live on forever in perpetuity. I leave the floor.
Yeah. This is the correct choice for Michael Jackson. Yeah, there's a couple other that you could add into the conversation, but I think this one stands above everything. I don't know if anyone else prior to Michael had been doing these like long extended ones where they're separating the song a little bit. But it holds up so fucking well. I love the ending of it. It still gets me every now and then when it just turns and he has the fucking like the cat eyes or whatever. I like how it holds that. I like how it holds that mood and that feeling. I also agree with you, Kelly, and 13 Going on 30, an incredible fucking soundtrack and just a great use of this song in a movie. But yeah, the dance, the beats, it's been covered to death. I remember whenever Glee did this, and they tried to do it on like a football stadium. And
They did it as a remix with Heads Will Roll.
Heads Will Roll,
Yes.
yeah.
All right. Melissa, yeah, your thoughts on this great.
Yeah, I mean, I love this video. I had it on my iPod video back in the day. It definitely was one I was thinking about choosing, but I kind of decided to go more with like underrated picks. So Kelly will probably win or whoever, but no, I mean this is an awesome song, awesome video. Michael Jackson also just in general has great picks, and I wouldn't be surprised if he might come up again. So,
Jake.
Yeah, like this. I mean, the two big ones for the Eddies for me was Take on Me and Thriller. I just kind of went, which one do I like more as the music video? And I went Take on Me just because I like the aesthetic choice for that. But Thriller is just incredible. Like Take on Me, my introduction to the song was watching the music video. Like when you have the whole part where he turns into a werewolf at the beginning, I'm like, what? This is my introduction to Michael Jackson, is this music video and watching him turn into a werewolf in the beginning of the film, of the music video. Also, we haven't really talked about directors, but the fact that this is John Landis, like a Hollywood director, like the director of the Blues Brothers, directed this music video. Like it even has his little pop culture Easter egg. See you next Wednesday.
Tuesday.
Sorry, see you next Tuesday. Thank you, Bill. That you see in all of his movies. Shows up in this. But yeah, I've always loved the gag at the end when he turns around and he has the yellow eyes and you have the Vincent Price laugh. I always thought that when it happens I would get terrified, but then when the laughing happens and it just zooms in on his face, I start laughing because it's just such a great visual. It's so good. Yeah. God damn it. Kelly, you're killing me.
You started it.
Yeah, I did. I really did.
Bill.
Okay, so now we're getting into when I was an actual kid, because I grew up at the age when it was the Omni Jackson. He was everywhere. You couldn't escape it. So I grew up. This is where I grew up. And this thing was like an event when it aired. They were like, we're going to premiere this 10. We're blocking out a half hour. Like it was 8 o'clock. Like MTV's rolling it out. And we're like, what the hell is all this? Because he's already riding high off everything else he's done at this point. And then this happens, and we're all like, what in the world? This is crazy. And also, Vincent Price should have rapped more. I'm just saying. He should have did it. Because this could go one of two ways. You could either have it be Vincent Price, fit the aesthetic perfectly, nails it, and it's awesome. Or you go the Robert Englund with Freddy Krueger and the Fat Boys route, where it's just cringy and it's terrible. You really want to aim for the first one. You really want to avoid the second one. And yeah, everything. Flawless. It's great.
Nice. All right, back over to you, Bill. Going back around the circle. What's your second pick?
In my race to the bottom, I will stick with the 80s too, because I have an 80s pick. So we all know the joy of when you see a movie that may either be set or were filmed in the places you're from. You get a little bit of a, oh my God, I know where that is. That's so cool. This is awesome. And then it kind of just goes up a little bit for you personally. That is the joy I have with one of my favorite bands and one of my favorite videos of all time. Because I'm from Philadelphia, I'm contractually obligated to pick a song by the Dead Milkmen. And I am going with 1988's fantastic Punk Rock Girl. This is a staple song. This is their definitive song. And this music video is perfectly encapsulates their off-kilter kind of brand of music. And also, it's pretty great because the very first line, they mentioned the store I used to work at when I was like in my late teens, early 20s. So it was like a punk rock Philadelphia institution. So the fact that I worked at Zipperhead is like always like a thing I'm very proud of. And it's just a goofy song about a guy who falls in love with this punk rock girl. And it's shot all over Philadelphia. There's interior shots of the band performing, and they're all filmed in Eastern State Penitentiary, which, if you are not familiar, it's actually a pretty big Philadelphia landmark. It's one of the oldest prisons ever. 12 Monkeys is actually filmed inside of it. It looks exactly like that. And also, the second date me and fiance Knowles ever went on, we went there and looked at Al Capone's little cell. So that adds nothing to this. I just felt like saying that out loud. And it's just a fun, weird video. And then it's just like everything is also kind of gnarly, gross looking, but at the same time, that adds to the charm of it. And then there's a great bit where it's like they go to a mall and then there's zombies all over the place. Like everybody looks like a zombie. And it's just such a wonderful little tiny little, Day of the Dead joke. And I love it. And yeah, it's great. It's catchy as hell song. It's just like one of those things. It actually played a lot on MTV when I was a kid. And that's kind of how I found it. And it's like one of the earliest punk bands I ever fell in love with. So yes, that's why I went with this one.
Okay, so you redeemed yourself a little bit in saying that it fits their off kilter sound. I agree with that. Otherwise, also just kind of meh. It's just kind of meh. I obviously don't have that same attachment.
That's why, yeah.
My favorite part of this song, though, I will say, is the guitar solo. I think that fits perfectly because it's perfectly imperfect.
Yes.
And it fits the song so well. I also will say the lead singer in this band sounds a lot like Weird Al, and I kind of want to hear Weird Al's rendition of this kind of sound.
Also, it's the personal because they mentioned the Philadelphia Pizza Company, which was like when I worked on South Street, that was the greatest place to get a cheesesteak from. Rest in peace. You were sorely missed. So,
all right, Kelly, have you got a chance to watch this?
I haven't watched it, but I like this song. This song's on like on my Spotify list. It pops up and stuff. So this sounds really good. But I love that Bill's gone with a passion pick and something that makes him. Jake and I are from the most remote city in the world, so like nothing is filmed here, so we can't relate, I don't think. But that would be really nice if you were able to experience that. So I love it.
Nice. Melissa.
Haven't seen it. Haven't heard the song either. So
you're gonna love this song.
I'm sure I will.
If I was right about shoegaze and you falling in love with that entire genre, I am right about this. So
yes, thank you, Bill.
and Jake.
Yeah, I can't say I've heard of the song, unfortunately. I'm watching the music video now. It seems pretty cool. The burning out take, just the aesthetic choices I think is pretty cool. But very much a Bill choice. I love it.
Absolutely.
Okay, over to Jake. Your second pick.
Okay, so this is going to be my last basic bitch choice. And I'm going with the 2000s. Arguably a unique decade for music videos. This is when they sort of started to, I wouldn't say experiment, but sort of push the boundary of music videos and what you can really do. I'm going with, I think, like just an absolute seminal classic. Everyone, I want you to imagine it's a hotel. There's no one there but Christopher Walken. He's sitting in a chair. You start to hear Fatboy Slim's weapon of choice.
Yes.
He gets up and just starts dancing for no reason. It's like he can hear the song starting to play. He has the whole hotel to himself. he's just gonna dance his ass off. Doesn't matter how old he is, he's gonna have the time of his life. You have Spike Jonze directing. You have just a seminal classic of Fatboy Slim songs with Bootsy Collins featuring. I love Fatboy Slim. I had to obviously pick a music video from him, and I'm going with I think the magnum opus of his music videos. I never would have expected him to just jump out and start flying around the hotel, but it's a visual that never leaves my brain. And then once he's finished, he just goes back to his chair and sits down. This is it. This is all we got to see, and I hope you enjoyed it. That's all it's about. There's not really much to say. We all know Weapon of Choice. We all know Crystal Walken dancing. We're imagining it in our heads right now as I speak about it. It's just an absolutely beautiful music video.
Yeah, I love the sway that he has in it. It just fits the tone of the song, and just how he's like kind of like rocking back and forth. Probably the first meme that wasn't actually like a meme kind of growing up. He got like legendary status doing this. I don't know if there's another actor that is like, he was like, because he had been doing pretty serious roles before then. I don't know if he's doing a ton of comedy, but then just to go full ham and cheese sandwich and just get right into it and create dance moves for people that can't dance. And then when the song comes on, you can just like get the hands out. And Bootsy Collins of Silk Sonic, of not fame rather, but kind of the last big time that we heard of him. Great to hear him on this song. Fatboy Slim's got a ton of great music videos, but yeah, this is the magnum opus of his category. He was part of. He introduces that album. Anyways, over to I'll go to Melissa first. Your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I love this song and I love the video. I mean, anytime I hear it, I just automatically think about Christopher Walken. And I somehow knew you would be talking about it at some point. I don't even know you that well, Jake, but I was like, he's gonna pick it. I just know it. So I'm glad it got discussed. I don't have too much to add though, but yeah, it's a fun music video of him dancing.
Kelly.
Yeah, Jake Boy Slim's kind of a bit of a giveaway, so of course I'm be coming. I like it. It's a great video. Of course, we're going to see like a different side of Christopher Walken, and it is that fun, goofy dad dancing, and then he gets to live his Peter Pan fantasy where it looks like he's just being doused in fucking pixie dust and flying up on the roof and shit. So yeah, good stuff.
Bill.
So this video is about a here for me. When I first saw it, I'm like, okay, it's Christopher Walken, but what the fuck am I even looking at? What is going on? Then he starts flying. It's now about a here. So I adore Spike Jonze, and especially back when they were doing like music videos, I was like, oh, Spike Jonze did it from the stuff he did with the Beastie Boys. So like, I was always like, well, I'm going to pay attention. And he's one of those guys that I followed like into film, and I was not disappointed at everything this guy does. Like, it's always like really odd, but he takes risks and he just knows how to make everything look amazing. And this is no exception. So who knew Christopher Walken had the moves? Spike Jonze did.
All right, over to Melissa.
Dancer.
Melissa, back around the bend. The last pick around two.
Okay. I'm gonna go with the 90s. I might have already talked about this somewhere, but I'm gonna talk about it again. I'm going with Human Behavior by Bjork.
Oh.
This video is directed by Michel Gondry. You might know him from Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind or Science of Sleep, other things. And you can definitely see the influence of from this film or from this music video. I love how creative this music video is. There's a mix of like animation, live action, etc. Just a lot of cool editing choices. And I love this song too. I think Bjork is extremely underappreciated. I think the vocals in this song are incredible. One of the best at singing and screaming. Yeah, and it's like a loose telling of like Goldilocks and the Three Bears. And I like that perspective of like animals' view on humans. And if you haven't seen it, I definitely recommend checking it out.
This will be popping up later in another thing. But yeah, this is a video and a half. There's a lot of things. There's a bear, there's a porcupine, people go to space, there's aliens. But you're right though, and that Bjork is an incredible singer, and just in how she captures her emotion. I think the only other person that you kind of put in that same vein would be like Alanis Morissette, especially for that time. But yeah, the animation the animation holds up. You get these interesting kind of looks. Like I think there's like a moth in it that's like kind of animated differently from the rest of it, so it has that kind of weird funk to it. But yeah, if you wanna go on a trip sometime, this is a really good place to start, or maybe end with this. This would be a good way to cap it off. Kelly, your thoughts on human behavior?
Yeah, when I heard human behavior Bjork, I'm like, oh, I think I'm thinking of the right one, because there's definitely some vivid imagery. So just to like quickly check, I'm like, yeah, definitely, it's that fairy tale storybook-esque setting, and it just suits it really well. So I definitely want to look at this one again, like the whole way through. So yeah, I like to be reminded of this one. So it's cool.
Bill.
So I loved the Sugar Cubes growing up. They're like a favorite band of mine. So when they broke up, I was super duper fucking sad. And then this fucking crazy Icelandic woman goes and does and everything better after she left. I mean, like, everything this lady did was fucking crazy, and I loved it. This video is no exception. This is actually my second favorite Bjork video.
I have a feeling I know what your first one is, and I might have almost picked it too. But
Okay, you know what? I don't care about the fucking poll. I'm gonna count to three, and we're gonna say the title at the same time. Ready? 1, 2, 3. It's Oh So Quiet.
Army of
Okay.
Me.
Yeah,
I would have said
okay.
I'm so quiet.
Oh, okay.
that would take.
No, Oh So Quiet's fucking amazing. That almost was my 90s pick, because that video is bonkers, and I fucking love it. But no, yeah, please. She shouldn't even put out albums. She should have just made music for fucking videos and did that forever, and I think we all would have been happy. She should have a Lemonade, is really who should have a Lemonade.
And Jake.
I unfortunately wasn't familiar with the music video, even though I am a fan of Bjork. Yeah, it looks really cool. The sort of I really get the Michelle Gondry visual style, and the fairy tale aesthetic is really cool. Just something that just is so like seminal. That just feels like pure Bjorkness. Absolutely something she would do. It looks really cool. Just the whole jungle woods aesthetic is really nice. It's an out there choice I really like.
All right, starting off round number 3, Melissa. Again, over to you. What is your third pick?
Okay. I'll go with the 2000s, and I'm gonna go with White Winter Hymnal by the Fleet Foxes. I absolutely love this band. If you haven't heard of them, definitely recommend checking them out. But the video is pretty simple, but I think it's really beautiful. It's all in claymation style animation, and essentially it's kind of like the band members, at least that's kind of how I interpret it, and they're kind of just like turning this wheel, and in the background the sky kind of keeps changing to like night and day. And I kind of interpret the video of like, I think as humans we try to like control time, control maybe our lives too much, but at the end of the day, like you really can't. Like, just shit happens. But it's a really beautiful, kind of simple animation style music video.
Yeah, I would agree. I like the claymation style. There's I like the kind of the lighting in it and all the different settings. The whole wheel thing, how I interpreted that is I feel like they were like trying to turn back time, because you can see plants starting to like kind of come back in, and then they do like a whole winter thing where like the snow kind of like a reverse comes off. But yeah, some really cool shots. It's pretty simple, I guess, in its idea, but it hits it out of the park. I really recommend go checking this out if you're an animation lover. Go to to go to Kelly first. Your thoughts?
Yeah, wasn't familiar, but what I've just been able to see really quickly and have a quick skip through, I definitely want to watch a bit more of that because I now want to hear what the song is matching it because just looking at the visuals, it looks really quite interesting. Obviously, I'm a big animation fan, so the claymation of it all is like something you don't see as often as you think you would because it makes a really great device for music videos. So, yeah, like this one.
Bill.
I've never heard of this. Shock, I know. I pulled it up and I'm going to watch. So this kind of gives me Sober from Tool vibes, and I am completely into this. So I will definitely watch this more when I'm not on a panel. I don't want to blare the mic. It's absolute. But yeah, this definitely looks like exactly my cup of tea with like two sugars. Yeah.
Nice. Jake.
Yeah, I also hadn't heard of this one. I love that Melissa and Bill are like broadening Kelly and I's horizons when it comes to these sort of like unique music videos. Because there's always just going to be some that you just don't know. But I'm looking at the stop motion aesthetic. I feel like someone needs to just take a shot every time I say aesthetic because I've said it like at least 20 times. So I'm going to try and not say that. I love the look of the stop motion. It looks really beautiful. Another choice where it's like it's out in the woods. The nature of it is really cool. I can't wait to actually listen to the song and see how it plays with the music video. A really, really cool choice.
All right. Jake, back over to you.
All right.
Next choice.
So we've got two of my basic bitch choices out of the way. Let's go a little bit more out there. Let's go choices that I hope you've heard of. We will see. I'm going with the 90s. I would say probably the peak, maybe arguably, of music videos. It's definitely, an argument to be made. I'm going with one that I just don't know. It's a song that I like. It's from a band that I like. It's a duo that I like. And it's one of those where I'm just like, this is just something that a music video can absolutely do. I'm going with a Daft Punk choice. I love Defunk. I love Around the World. I love One More Time, even though I think that's 2000. But I'm going with Revolution 909. Now, in case you don't know what this is, basically a rave is happening and the police show up, and one of the rave people notices one of the police officers and has like a blood stain on his uniform. And you're like, what? Cut to 2 weeks ago or however long ago, you see a tomato seed being planted out in the field. It's growing to become a tomato. It's being taken by a truck, by the farm tractor. It's being turned into pasta sauce. It being bought by an old lady. That old lady using that pasta sauce to make spaghetti, and then giving it to his her son, who is a police officer, for lunch or for dinner, and then him in the car with his buddy eating this spaghetti, a little bit of pasta sauce dripping on his uniform, leading to him going to the rave and the raver noticing the stained pasta sauce on his shirt. It wasn't blood, it was pasta sauce. And we get to see the origins of the stain from the creation of a tomato all the way to what it is now. The circle of life, it's, how birth and death of this tomato sauce. We get to see the story. It's just really, really out there storytelling, and it's something that you can do in a music video. All the while, this rave music by Daft Punk, like, no lyrics, just good vibes. That I'm a big fan of. Directed by Roman Coppola, one of the Coppolas. Had his try at making music videos, and I just think this is one that it's one of Daft Punk's most underrated songs and one of the most underrated music videos. More people should check this out. I highly recommend it. It's just like something that well contained for a music video.
Underrated song, absolutely. Video, I got some problems with this, and it's all in the food. Surprisingly, yeah, this is almost like
I should have expected that.
So yeah, this is almost like a How It's Made episode.
You did not have to do that. You knew you did not have to do that. How could you have done that? Can you live with yourself?
So yeah, it's like a How It's Made episode. The tomatoes look great. Like, I'd swear a fucking somebody from Studio Ghibli was doing the cinematography on it, making sure the food just looks pristine. But yeah, the woman, the lady in the video puts dried chilies to start off in her sauce, which is okay. But she then tears up the basil in the sauce, which you don't do. You don't want green little specks in your tomato sauce. But the sin that confuses me the most is that she puts the spaghetti right out of the pot into a plastic Tupperware container and then just puts the sauce over it. The next shot where we go to the cop cars is the pasta already mixed in the sauce. There's no continuity in this. I would rather her mix it in with the sauce appropriately so you get the maximum amount of flavor. But yeah, it's a great song. Not a turn that I was expecting to take.
Hey, what if you just take away the fact that the making of the pasta sauce and the spaghetti get rid of that.
There should be a food consultant there to make
But it
sure
wants
that
to tell.
What if he shook the fucking thing while he was in the car? We don't know what they did all night. Maybe he had a little already, and just put it back when a crime happened.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay, Melissa, your thoughts on this?
I am not familiar with the song or the video, so I will have to check it out. I'm very intrigued now because of this conversation.
Kelly.
Yeah, didn't think I'd be coming on a music video show this morning and having a debate about pasta sauce. So I'm kind of here to say it now.
And Bill.
That's all I got.
So, how pasta sauce is made is not going to fundamentally break my enjoyment of a music video. That's just a little bit about me as a person. No, I actually was not familiar with this video. I do know this song, and as he's explained it, I literally have these images. I'm tracking through real quick on YouTube. I'm like, what the fuck is this? I'm like, is this all this is? Is this just the origin of how this guy got his stain? And that's the kind of weird shit I like to, and I appreciate with music videos. When you just like, this is the most innocuous thing. Here's the whole story, and fucking why not?
All right, over to you, Bill, for your next pick.
Cool. All right. Well, none of mine are in danger of getting picked, so I'm going to pick the one that deserves to be here next. So I'm going to go to the 2000s, which is a fairly good decade. We were all around. Now, when you hear the phrase, your favorite rapper's favorite rapper, who's the one person that comes to mind?
I'm just blanking on all rappers right now.
Totally fine. So that's it's rhetorical. But the answer is MF Doom. I love MF Doom. He's one of my all-time favorite artists, and he collaborated with an album, Mad Villainy, which is got to be one of my favorite albums of all time. And there is a music video for the best, arguably the best song on there, and it's the Mad Villain video for All Caps. Now, if you have not seen this, it's all animated, and it all looks like Jack Kirby drew everything in the 1960s, and they have just made a comic book come to life to one of the sickest rap songs ever made. And I love every minute of it. I love the aesthetic. I love how Doom looks like a cross between Dr. Doom and The Thing. I love like how it's jumping between panels and panels. I also love that in the middle of it, they have the goofy ads that used to be in old comic books of like, hey, here's all this stuff you can order and all this. And it's just so much fun. And then how they have the letters page with the editor and just it's little things like that that I will appreciate. But at the same time, it's just like, it's a beautiful, quick 2 minutes in like 20, 30 seconds, but it's just fantastic. And I'm so glad that I live in a day and age where I got to see that happen because that video is great.
Yeah, this is an excellent choice. Very glad that you picked this.
I'm sorry. All caps is all caps.
Yeah,
and it's Mad Villain, and it's all caps. You will fix that right now. Some respect. Rest in peace.
So this is the perfect video for the artist and MF Doom, and then he basically portrays himself as a real life Dr. Doom in a way, and to a point where he has Doom bots playing at a show. Shout out to Dylan Van Thine, probably the biggest MF Doom fan in the community. In terms of the videos that we're talking about today, this is probably the one that you want to pause the most because, like Bill was saying, like they have those goofy like ads or whatever, where he even cuts out the coupon for like, is it like a trike or something?
It's so good. Fucking love it.
Like you get near the end, and you see it's like the fan mail thing, and like that's where it's like I want to pause and read and see all the little shit that they would have put in that. It was cool getting to check this out from again the animation perspective and kind of continuing the theme of comic books. The only real like true animated film or true animated music videos that I had known kind of coming into this was like anything kind of Gorillaz, and then this might only pertain to a couple of people, but Lone Star had a song called Mr. Mom that was all animated.
Are we really gonna bring up Lone Star?
Memory unlocked.
You never saw Do the Evolution by Pearl Jam?
I have not.
It's actually animated by Todd McFarlane. It's crazy. You should watch it.
Oh, okay. You have me sold right away.
You're fucking welcome, the internet.
So it just looks like Spawn, the whole thing.
Yeah, it's fucking bonkers.
All right, let's start off with Jake.
I had not heard of this. I'm not like super big into MF Doom, unfortunately. I'm sorry, Dylan. I've been checking out the music video. Yeah, it's got that 60s Marvel comics look to it. Pretty accurately, I might add. Like even with like the ads and all the stuff that you were saying. And also just the fact that some of it has like that fourth wall breaking where they'll rip the pages out and all that sort of stuff, and they'll go through each panel. Really cool look to it. Yeah, I've got to check this one out. Add this to the watch list.
Just to echo off Jake's statement for a second, yeah, the scene where he's like, yeah, he's busting through the panels. That was a really cool shot.
God, I love it. Melissa.
Oh, sorry. I'm not familiar with the song or the video, so Bill, you need to educate me more on the subject.
He needs to educate all of us.
So I'll give you an easy one. It's out there somewhere. Pick up the Danger Mouse record where it's him and it's all Adult Swim stuff. Adult Swim licensed it out, so all the Adult Swim characters from Biocracy and Hunger Force are all over it, and everyone in the world shows up. It's like Talib Kweli. God damn it, what's his name? Oh my God, Method Man. No, not Method Man. Oh Jesus, what's his? I'm blanking.
Redman.
Can't remember. No. Ghostface. Sorry. Yeah.
Ghostface Killer.
Yeah. So it's fucking so good. Yeah. And then you just hear weird snippets from Space Ghost in between. It's great.
And Kelly.
Yeah, again, not familiar, but anything that's a real love letter to comics and is paying that much attention to detail sells me. So would really like to check this out.
Cool. All right. Over to Kelly to start or to close off round 3.
To finish round 3, I'm going to go to the 90s as well. And everyone has been making really cool choices. This is the least cool video that you're going to see today, but I don't care. It is the mid-90s, and you're at a school disco, and Barbie Girl comes on. I don't care. I love this video. I am nostalgic for it. It is plastic fantastic. You can brush my hair and take me everywhere. I love it. What I love most is like no one's heard of it before. There's some Danish band or something like that, and this is what I love about music videos is if you just get the right video for your shitty pop song, it will become a global sensation, and everyone 20 years later will still know what you're talking about. But this video especially, like, they've got the car, they've got the dream house, you've got the guy playing Ken, and come on, Barbie, let's go party. And her changing outfits, even like really paying homage to some of the Barbies at the time. So she was in like the roller girl gear with the little tape deck Walkman and stuff, and the little connected headphones and stuff. It's poppy and bubblegum. It's just a blast. Big smiles. That's all I want from my music videos. So yeah, you could not escape this at any school dance or disco at a time. And a big part of that, as I said, is the using the music video as a promotional tool. So I think it's very, very well done. Do you want me to keep going?
So yeah, I would agree.
Do you want me to feel sorry?
Oh, sorry.
No, maybe you're lagging, darling. You go.
No, what? Who? Oh, I probably am lagging. But yeah, it's a great song and a great music video. It gets that plastic sort of nature involved. It's an era of where music video dances were a big thing,
Yes.
and I kind of wish they'd come back because they'd be perfect given the ADHD kind of TikTok era that we're in now, where we just need that like flashy kind of constant attention. I do have a couple of things to nitpick though. One, and I'm going to bring up.
What did they cook wrong, Brooklyn? Tell me, what did they cook?
It's not
What was
plastic
the
food. It's not wrong.
Jeez.
Okay, so first thing is that in this video there is a moment where this guy here,
Whoa.
first of all, his haircut is extremely 90s. I think Guy
Yes.
Fieri is the only person that comes
Frosted
close to that
tips.
style.
Hey, fuck you! I had this haircut.
Was it the 90s?
Yeah. Secondly, this same person also has an acoustic guitar. When you there isn't really an acoustic guitar in the song, so why is that in there, music video director? And then I want
Oh,
to find.
I actually know why. I actually know why it's in there. It's because shut up.
Okay.
I don't know,
And then,
man. Like, what the fuck is anything?
I want to find a good shot. There we go. Let's.
Wow, read me the feels, Brooklyn. Like, no one else got their
There.
video
That's-
physically.
that's-
put
yeah,
back.
yeah, I know.
That's
Yeah, I was
right.
gonna say, I would have liked to have shown Revolution 909.
Like this one had.
So wait, you just had this on the ready. Like you pulled this up real quick.
This guy's haircut is fine, but the other
When I saw this,
Man, you didn't know how to do it in the 90s
Yeah.
unless you had Liberty Spikes. Did we break?
Yeah, when I was watching this video for prep, there was two things I wanted to bring up. That thing, and then this hairstyle. Was this even a thing? Like, why
Yeah,
wouldn't
it's a
you not just
Barbie
go full
world.
bald and have instead of having like ear brows pretty well?
The laws
yeah,
of reality and
it was an
haircuts
interesting
are different
time.
in the Barbie world than they are in here, Brooklyn.
Yeah, and I feel like in the 90s, people were
But
shaving
did-
strictly
did-
shit
did
into their
Ken-
hair anyway.
I would love to see the Ken doll that had that exact same haircut.
They should have done like a
but-
marketing thing where you get to buy the Aqua Barbie dolls,
Oh, well, I
Yeah.
had shaving Ken, so, like,
Oh, there you go.
possibly. There it is.
So, fun
Okay.
fact, I didn't know there was a music video for this song.
Oh,
What?
you need to go watch it. Because
Yeah.
don't
fun.
listen to Brooklyn. No
It's
offense.
stupid fun.
This music video rocks.
I don't know, man. I'm getting a kind of Bewitched vibe from it. Is it similar to those videos, or are we dip it into like S Club 7 territory? Oh my god, I'm the only person who remembers S Club 7.
No,
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 no, no, no.
No,
Hey,
no,
listen,
no.
That's
there ain't no
Club 7
listen.
party, baby.
There ain't no party like an S
Party
Club
like an
party.
S Club party.
I have officially embarrassed myself. I'm gonna go refresh my drink. I'll be back. I have nothing really to add. This song's in my head the rest of the night now, though, but that's fine. So I'll be back in a minute. Excuse me.
I would say they have a catchier song, but it's not their most popular song. I think Dr. Jones is
Dr. Jones?
Yeah, it's
and that's also a great music video.
That's a good
Yeah.
music video too, in the jungle, is it? Yeah.
Jake, your thoughts?
Yeah, I love I think we talked about this years ago, but I grew up with the original Aqua album, Aquarium, I think it was. I love Aqua as a kid, and I'm talking like a 5-6-year-old. Like that was like a time when I was listening to Aqua and Junior Senior all the time, and Aqua just had such a when I think of pop, European pop, this is what I think of. I think of Aqua. They really just had it down to a science. And the Barbie Girl music video was something that you just heard at every school dance in primary school. As Kelly was saying, I heard this all the time during the school. Because it's a safe song where it's this is something that's, that's easy for kids to listen to. And I still like listening to the song today. I think the weirdest thing about the music video is at the end when Ken accidentally rips Barbie's arm off. I think outside of that, I get it's a Barbie doll, but it's just it's a kind of a weird thing. But outside of that, it's great. It's got that pop. It just looks it's so innocent. It's very poppy, you could say.
And Melissa.
Oh yeah, I mean, I kind of interrupted at some point, but I love this video and I love the song. I just remember my sister and I being obsessed with this, and we'd watch it nonstop as children. I definitely thought about drafting it, but I ended up not. So, but great pick. I love the choice.
Great. All right, and now Kelly, to start off round number 4. Where we have.
Oh yes. To finish my. Nearly to finish myself off. No. To finish my draft picks. Yes. My last one is the 2010s.
Or your second last one. We have the flex as well.
Oh.
One more.
Oh, thank you. Okay, still going. Okay, 2010s then. And this is one, like, I felt a little bit safe to save to the end because I didn't think it would get taken, but I'm really, really hoping other people on the panel know what it is. I'm picking what I think actually might be my most favorite music video, which is really funny because I've talked a lot about nostalgia and stuff, but this, I think, is so creative, so funny. Hopeless Wanderer by Mumford & Sons.
Yes.
If you haven't seen it, let me tell you who is in it. Jason Bateman, Jason Sudeikis, Will Forte, and Ed Helms playing Mumford & Sons. And what's so great, it is absolutely taking the piss out of what was popular at the time with that real folksy pop rock that we were having a lot of in that early 2010s, because it's them playing the band members, and it starts with them like just walking along with their instruments, and you see Ed Helms pushing this piano up a hill, but everyone's playing it so serious. And then if you're familiar with the song, there's some really good like acoustic guitar breaks that just ups the ante every time. And so these guys are just playing their folk roxy heroes. They're doing all the tropes. They're in a rowboat. They're in a barn. They're doing like Whose Line Is It Anyway, like Hoedown or Irish Jig with like the beers and stuff. It's great. But every break, it just gets more and more where they start destroying the instruments. There's a big dramatic meltdown moment and Will Forte starts crying. Jason Bateman licks his face, licks the tears off of his face. And like, this is everyone in their prime. This is like 2014, 2015. So this is when everyone's like quite big movie stars at the time and everything's coming out. So it's really hard to talk about unless you just watch it, because the way you describe it's maybe a little bit basic, but when you watch it, yeah, please do. It just, and then all chaos breaks loose at the end and they just walk back out with all their destroyed instruments. So I love this one. There we go.
Yeah, I didn't remember this one until you had it on your draft board, and then as soon as it came up, I was like, oh yeah, this one where it kind of gets like batshit crazy, but not as chaotic. You're absolutely right, and that the four of them are just hamming it up, similar to Christopher Walken. Jason Sudeikis and Will Forte share a very passionate kiss in the middle of it. And this also gets my award for probably toughest shot in a music video. The one where there's three of them sitting in a rowboat, and then Will is standing upright with the bass. I was thinking, like, man, how many times would they have tried to do that? Because like standing in a rowboat is tough enough, but then when you have three other people like with the counterbalance and the weight and whatnot, so kudos to them. Yeah, Mumford & Sons, kind of a there and gone band of the 2010s, but this music video will hold up and be brought back when we have these discussions. Melissa, your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm familiar with the band. I want to say I'm familiar with the song, but I'm not 100% sure. I haven't seen the video though, so I will have to check it out. It sounds fun.
Jake.
Yeah, unfortunately was not familiar. I'm sorry, Kelly, with Mumford & Sons isn't something I'm super like just into, but I was just watching the music video and it's really cool. I like the fact that they're just like, yeah, let's just get like four of the biggest comedy guys at the time to just play us. That's just money in the bag idea. I really like that a lot.
And Bill.
Was this like right around the same time the Beastie Boys did the whole big thing when they had
Make Some Noise?
Who was it? Yeah, Make Some Noise. Yeah, where it was Elijah Wood, Danny McBride. I feel like it was, and Seth Rogen playing them. Like, I feel like that was kind of around the same time. I'm not a fan of Mumford & Sons. I'm sorry. I don't mean, it's just not my thing. So that's a Fiancé Knowles band. So there's bands that like she did like Mumford & Sons and like the Civil Wars and stuff like that. And my favorite band, The Descendants, literally has a song about farts. So take that, whatever, how you will. Literally, it's called Enjoy. It's hilarious. You should check it out.
Okay, so now I believe we're back over to Bill for your next pick.
Okay, so I feel pretty good with my wild card pick, so I'm going to kick it to the 2010s. So I've never made it a secret. There's very few bands I will put into the breath of my favorite band of all time. I number one is The Descendants, but if I had to start picking other bands, this band is easily 2, 3, depends. They are simultaneously overrated and underrated all at the same time because they are really prolific. To have the career that these guys have had, it's crazy. And the fact that they're still doing it. So I'm going with Brooklyn's Own. They Might Be Giants because this band's career, holy shit. And their music videos are also some of the greatest stuff ever. And they're still constantly doing it. I remember they made a big stink on the internet a few years ago because they had. So if you're not familiar, they used to do this service called Dial a Song, where they would literally write a song a week. You could call a phone number and you could listen to a song by They Might Be Giants and leave them a message. They did that for 40 years. So they still kind of did it, but now it's on the internet and now they're making music videos out of songs or whatever. And one of them, I think, was Nick Offerman, just randomly. He was tweeting about it. He's like, oh my God, I'm in my favorite bands. I get to be in their music video. And it's crazy. And it's the weirdest fucking thing I've ever seen. But in this time frame, they also put out a music video with Laura Lapkus cooking dinner. That's the whole video. And it's the weirdest thing you've ever seen. And it's called You're on Fire. And I love this because not only is this a catchy as hell song as only They Might Be Giants can write, it's also fun, super weird, kind of creepy at the same time. Because the band is never in it. She is just cooking delight. And then there's a whole pound of hamburger meat that makes a face that starts singing for the whole thing. And then all
I got the video queued up and
it's really kind of mildly off-putting. Yeah, it's something else. And then all the vegetables are playing like broccoli's playing carrots as guitar, and it's just super cute, but also kind of weird. But it's just so catchy and so fun and so infectious. So this is exactly the kind of thing.
Using the carrot like it's a guitar.
Yes,
I just want to tell people.
Yes. Later on, the carrots use the broccoli as trumpets. It's great. And it's just exactly the kind of weirdness I expect from this band, and I kind of love it. And it's just. So they've always been called the Shitty Beatles, and if you listen to the song, you know exactly why. They fart a song like this out in their sleep, and it's great. And I love this band so much. And this video is so odd. Also, there's a really uncomfortably long kissing scene with Laura Lapkus and this guy where you literally see the spit connecting their mouths, and it's just mouth stuff like that. Kind of oh my God, what is going on? Just so we're clear, but it's still. I would don't listen to me, watch it.
Yeah. So. A banger of a song, probably my favorite song of the draft boards that I've discovered because of this. It's a great music video. It's just weird enough. Yeah. The chorus in it is great when it's the top down and they have the bowl. I don't know if it's sauce or something.
I don't know, but the sauce when it makes the faces or the volume, it's just so cool. I love it.
This unfortunately does make one food sin.
I don't fucking care.
They use baby carrots, and there's so many chemicals in baby carrots. Why don't you just get fresh carrots?
But the singing face hamburger, you're fine with that, right? We're fine with this. That's fine. That's not a problem.
There's no added chemicals to that.
I'm just trying to figure out where the hump is. You need to go. Oh no, face hamburger meat's fine. Baby carrots, unacceptable. So no. Sentient meat, though, absolutely.
That's the only way. It brings so much life to the dish. Kelly, your thoughts?
Yeah, the only There Might Be Giants I'm familiar with is when they did music videos for Tiny Toon Adventures in the 90s.
Istanbul, not Constantinople.
Istanbul, not Constantinople, and Particle Man.
Particle Man.
Yeah.
So good.
So I'm much more familiar with those two music videos, but this one, sentient hamburger meat, will be the phrase I take away from today. So yes.
Melissa.
I got more homework to do. I'm not familiar with this video, so I'll have to check it out. Sounds awesome.
Yeah, it's only 2018 or something. It's not that long ago, so it's fairly recent.
Cool.
Jake.
Yeah, I'm with Melissa. I got some homework. I was watching it. I'm just like, this is great. I can't wait to listen to the song and how it plays with the music video. But yeah, I've been just adding every time every time someone says a music video I'm not familiar with, I'm just adding it to my watch list. I got some watching to do later today. But yeah, it looks really creative. Definitely something up my alley for sure.
All right, back over to you, Jake. Your penultimate pick for the draft.
So I'm kind of torn. I had a pretty definitive 80s, 90s, 2000s. 2010s and my flex choices are a little bit not entirely sure. Brooklyn, I have a question.
I have an answer.
I know you asked us to submit you like our draft, like of our 2 choices for each decade and all that. Yeah. Can I pick something that wasn't in that initial
yes, you can. Yeah, no, you can. It's going to be a live reaction. So
this is going to be a weird one because I think people will forget it, but then when I explain it, I think you might remember it. So I'm going with the 2010s. This is a really random one. I love Avicii. Avicii made some really good music videos back in the day. The one for Levels is incredible, but I'm a really big fan of I Could Be the One. I think that one is a really, really cool story. It's about a woman who works in an office and she's miserable and hates her life. And then she wakes up in a bed next to the beach in a hotel with a guy and a used condom. She finds her to-do list, and the one thing it says is not give a fuck. And as the music starts to hit, she destroys a girl's sandcastle on the beach. She kisses a waiter. She just drinks and parties, living her best life. And unfortunately, she wakes up and realizes it was a dream. And she's back in the office, and she realizes that, you know what? I don't have to do this. And she starts destroying everything. And Simu Liu is there, Shang-Chi from the Shang-Chi movie. He's just there, one of the co-workers. And she decides, you know what, I'm done. She walks out of the building, and then she gets hit by a truck. I can't remember what it says on the truck, but it says like too late or something like that. Like, you know, but really fun. I really love the music. I really love the song. I think it's probably my favorite Avicii song. Even though I really, really love Levels. I don't know if you like you, Kelly, but I've been hearing Levels. Like, there's been so many ads recently. Where I've been hearing that on the YouTube videos, on the YouTube ads. I'm just like, yes, it's a great song. But I Can Be the One. I think it's a really fun music video. And I think it's one that, like, at the time, I was just like, this is just incredible stuff. And I just wanted to bring it back because I think it's gone a little bit tad underrated. But yeah, I would say this is my 2010s pick.
Yeah. All right. I gotta double check here. Yeah, that absolutely was happening. Gonna get the banner that we usually use for a different show. This is a very Sexy Times music video. There's a lot of that in there.
I heard Sexy Time. Go on, please. Yes.
A girl wakes up and grabs a used condom. I will warn people about that.
Nice.
When does the sexy start? That's gross.
It's pretty well all throughout. It's pretty well all throughout. Yeah. I do agree. This is a great song. Avicii and I think it was Zed as well. We're putting out some bangers at the time. I think it was Zed that did a remix of Legend of Zelda. The Hyrule, I think there's a Hyrule theme. It's great. But yeah, this is an on-brand Jake choice. And
I don't know what that means, but okay.
It's just off kilter enough where it's not chaotic like Bill's Mr. Crinkle one, but it's just weird enough. Let's go to Bill first.
I don't know what the fuck any of this is. I've never heard of Avicii. Did I say that right?
Avicii. Yeah.
I have no idea who that is. I've literally never heard that name before in my life.
I bet you've heard Levels. I almost guarantee you've probably heard Levels.
Wake me up.
I mean, in the jungle, yeah, when I was fighting them.
Good Superman. Before Flo Rida ruined it.
I don't fucking know. I'll look it up. Yeah, cool. All right. I'm ignorant. Sorry.
Kelly.
Yeah, Jake, when you said like Avicii, I'm like, oh, I thought you were going to pick like Wake Me Up or something like that. And so when you said, what was this one called? I Could Be the One. And then when you started describing it, I'm like, oh, yes, because I lived in a very popular Australian tourist destination during this time. So I definitely heard a lot of Avicii and definitely saw women acting like this in real life. So, it was one that I had just forgotten. So I'm looking forward to having it remembered because I've got this like flashes in my brain. So yeah, I'll definitely check that one out again because it definitely didn't reach the heights of Wake Me Up or Hey Brother or things like that. It went under the radar a little bit. So yeah, it'd be cool to check this one out again.
All right, and Melissa.
Yeah, I'll have to add it to the list. I'm not familiar. I am familiar with Avicii, but it's not necessarily music I like listen to, but I'm aware of it. But I'll check it out.
All right, over to you, Melissa. Your second last and your final pick of the draft. What are we wrapping up the show with?
Okay. I'm gonna go with my flex pick. I'm gonna go with another Icelandic artist. Sorry if I say this name wrong.
Yeah.
Sigur Rós, or Sigur Rós. I think that's how you say the
Sigur
artist's
Rós?
name. Yes.
I think it's Sigur
Sigur Rós?
something like that. Yeah.
Okay, sorry. I was like, it's like an artist I like, but I don't know how to say their name. And I'm gonna go with I'll just say it in English, but it's called Four Pianos, but that's in Icelandic.
Damn you for making me type this.
I'm sorry.
It's called copy and paste, dude.
Yeah, well, totally butchered that, but yeah, I'm going with this choice. So the video, it's about 8 minutes long. It's pretty intense, and it's also kind of whimsical too, though. You do see a naked Shia LaBeouf, so spoiler warning on that. Like full frontal.
And this is called what now? Hold on, what?
But no, I really think it's a beautiful video of just the cycle of abuse and addiction. It's very well done in regards to visual storytelling of that. It's kind of hard to talk about because there's a lot that happens throughout the video, but some great dancing, a lot of emotion being evoked throughout. It's just kind of all instrumental music, but highly recommend if you have not seen it. It is kind of like almost like a short film because it is about 8 minutes long, so it's fairly long for a song.
Yeah. Yeah. This is an interesting video.
It's a lot.
When I first saw they warn you, right? They warn you at the beginning of the video. This does contain scenes of nudity. It's like, okay, this is where we're going. Then we see Shia LaBeouf and all the things. They're looking like electric lollipops. And I like the way they kind of presented it and how it kind of handles like abuse and addiction and whatnot. Because in that middle part or whatever, they're in the car. Licking these lollipops, and they think that they're like kind of going on these trips and all these different adventures, but they're just kind of there, and you kind of see there's like a mirror or something, or another copy of them just kind of in the car. Not only do you see Shia LaBeouf full nude, Shia LaBeouf draws a face on another person's body, and then just kind of rubs it all over the place. There's a lot of butterflies. Shit gets destroyed in this. This is probably the most polarizing in terms of the song itself and then the video. Because the song itself is like, oh, this is like quaint and beautiful. It's a nice little piano ballad. And then the video is like, hold my beer or hold my joint rather.
That's fair.
Jake, your thoughts?
Can't say I was familiar with this one. I will be watching it, or I'll be listening to it as well. Just looking at the little bit that I'm seeing is definitely out there. 8 minutes and 33 seconds. It's a long music video, but some of the visuals look really nice. There's also like an underwater sort of choice that they're going with in some of the scenes. I can't wait to actually see the full story and see and the song as well. So,
Bill.
I have not, but I have a private browsing tab open, and I have typed all that information into it. I will give that a look when we're not on a thing that's broadcast over the internet.
And Kelly.
Yeah, I haven't seen it either, but if Shia LaBeouf thunderguns it for any other Philly fans that get that reference, like, then I'm sort of down for it. There it is. There it is. Yes. Yeah, no, it sounds...
No!
Yes, well, cool choice.
All right, back over to you, Melissa, for your last pick of the draft.
Okay, so 1980s. I'm gonna go with Rome, B-52s.
Yes.
This music video is a lot of fun. It's kind of just like the group singing along, and there's a lot of like stock imagery going on in the background, cool editing choices, and they're just kind of roaming around the world. And I mean, this song is also just a lot of fun. There's other songs of theirs that I like more, but like when I was going for this whole list, I was like trying to find songs that I love, but also music videos that I love like equally for both choices. So I decided to go with this choice. Yeah. Very 80s.
So yeah, this yeah, absolutely right. Very 80s, and just kind of like the neon colors that are brought over the like the realistic kind of video behind us. It is very B-52s and kind of that quirky nature. But it like this song, I would say can get lost in the mix at times of like just like kind of the 80s jams that our mom and dads loved, and was like, isn't this great music? And then you wouldn't realize till you're older that like, yes, that is great music. I have one little nitpick with this. And it's I don't know what caused it, but there's a couple of shots where like they're looking off camera, which is I found really weird because I feel like nowadays music videos are a lot based on like kind of like having the camera be your audience. But like when they look over, it looks like they're just reading off of something. Like they don't. I don't know. It was something that I noticed. But it is zany and fun at times. I forget the lead singer's name, but there's times where he's just kind of like kind of jumping around, doing like almost like the walk like an Egyptian sort of thing.
Fred Schneider. Show some
Fred
respect.
Schneider. Okay, sorry, Fred Schneider. But yeah, it's really cool. It's really cool. And then they had a couple of cool little things, like the little flower background part way through. And yeah, a global music video, I guess you would say. Jake, your thoughts?
I love B-52s. Growing up with SingStar, we all sang Love Shack. Love Shack was the big one for me and for my family. And Rome is such a good song. Like it's the same album as Love Shack, and Rome is like that was sort of them changing their their choice in music style. Like because I know they'd done music in the late 70s, early 80s, and then one of the band members unfortunately passed away, and this is sort of their comeback. We're gonna reinvent ourselves, and Rome was their first hit, I guess, before Love Shack, and this is a song that plays at work all the time. So when I hear it, I'm just like, yeah. This is of the 20 to 30 songs that I absolutely love when I hear it on the radio. This is one of them. It's a great music video, like Melissa was saying. It's them around the world, seeing all different cultures and all that sort of stuff. It's just a really good music video and a really good song. And I'm a big fan of it.
Bill.
I always confuse this video with Stand by REM because I feel like it's the same, very aesthetic, very the same with them just in front and like all these things happening. But yeah, no, this is actually this is like my personal favorite B-52 song. I know you're supposed to say Private Idaho, Rock Lobster, and all these other ones, but I think this one is a genuinely good. They are good. Yeah, I appreciated their weirder shit. But I also can appreciate that this is just a perfectly crafted pop song, and a A+ video to go with it. It's a good time. So,
Kelly.
Yeah, very joyous. Everyone's like lighting up and smiling when they're thinking about it and talking about it. So I like this. It's also my shit in like old movies and stuff where like you have people sitting in a car driving like this and the background's going behind them and movies. And this gives me very that where they're like going through all the different worlds without actually moving. I love that. So I like this a lot.
All right, over to Jake now for your last pick.
My last pick. So if I look at my choices that I have, I'm gonna go with one that was on my list. I hope you saw it. It's a really out there one. Experimental band Battles. They are sort of like, they do like random stuff. I'm not super familiar with them, but I'm familiar with this music video because it's directed by the Daniels, aka the Academy Award nominated directors of Everything Everywhere All at Once.
I know where you go with it.
They did a music video with Battles. The song is called "My Machines," featuring Gary Newman. It's basically, it's a one take, or at least it's in the style. There's like edits, but it's a one take styled music video. Basically, the whole concept is an elevator going up and down, and we're focusing on a guy with bags on this elevator. He accidentally drops something while he's on the elevator, and he trips. And throughout the entire music video, the whole 4 minutes, he is just tumbling down and down the elevator, the escalator, but he is just constantly going up as well. So it's just this perpetual motion of him being stuck on this escalator while Gary Newman comes down and just looks at it and then starts singing, doesn't even care about what's going on. And the camera will slowly move up, and then you'll get like a bird's eye view shot and see him just still tumbling, and he tries to get up, but some of it doesn't exactly work because he could just try and stop himself, but it doesn't matter because all he has to do is he could just stop, but it doesn't matter. He is just tumbling. And that's the whole music video. Some of it's like the song is really like rock and really out there as far as like the sound of it, but I'm just a big fan of it. And you see like some of the other band members coming down the escalator, like the keyboardist, whatever. But it's just really, really fantastic stuff where you just watch this guy just tumbling down, and you just feel bad, but it's just like so fun to watch. Really plays with the energy of the song. But this is just one of those things where it's like, it's such an idea that I wouldn't have expected to see happen. But the Daniels are so out there with their creative ideas, and they did the Turn Down for What music video. That was sort of their big break.
That's what I thought you were gonna pick.
Which is a great music video. I'm not gonna lie, I love that music video. But this is my personal favorite that they've done. Really out there stuff. I recommend everyone watch it. It's self-contained. It's an interesting concept.
Jake?
What does the kitty have to say? I thought my cat got in here for saying, "God damn it, Taliesin, what are you doing?"
This is an awesome music video and a great song. This is not surprising, considering like it feels kind of like Birdman, I guess. It's kind of like the one shot, but like they use the transitions to kind of mask the effect. I love that it's a guy just fucking struggling on an escalator, and there's even like he gets a little bit bloody at times, but kind of similar to like you were mentioning how the band comes down at times, and then they all end up kind of meeting at the end. Gary Newman is great in it. It's another. Like we were kind of mentioned earlier, the one shots, high risk, high reward, and I think I think it pays off, and that it's quirky enough, but it doesn't it's not too high of a concept. I guess you would say there's a lot to kind of. I feel like this is really good on rewatch, and that there's more to kind of pick up. But we'll go to Melissa.
You said the Daniels, and my ears are definitely perking up. I haven't seen this though, so I'll add it to the ongoing list that I got here tonight.
Kelly.
Yeah, again, one I haven't seen, but a one shot sounds really interesting. I have seen Turned Down for What, so if it's anything sort of taking that style, that sounds really interesting. So I love that we're getting a lot of one shot music videos tonight, a lot of popular director crossover and such. This is another one that sounds really cool.
Bill.
You had me at the Daniels and Gary Newman, so I will definitely have to watch this one. So absolutely, yes.
All right, and now Bill, over to you for I believe your flex, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep, and I think.
Sorry, the pets are coming out.
Everyone
you're
got
not paying
to
attention to me.
Here, so. You know what? I'm going to call an audible. So originally my pick was Scenario by A Tribe Called Quest, which you should all check out anyway because it's fucking great. Also should be in the Hall of Fame just for Busta Rhymes' verse alone. But anyway, I decided because all these videos I have in common are really good songs with really quirky, weird, or like unforgettable videos. And I'm going to do something a little different. I'm going to go the pop route this time. And the year is 2000. I am fully entrenched in my full-on, I am so not mainstream. I don't go near it. I don't touch it. I'm like super Wicked Underground. I go to the Warped Tour. Like all my fucking records are bands you never heard of that I got to buy through like the fucking mail. And I'm over at my friend's house. Him and his wife, then girlfriend, they're like, dude, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life. And it's this English pop star who's sort of starting to blow up here in America. And he puts on this video. And God damn it, boys. Smile When You Winning by Robbie Williams hits. And then he throws on one of the greatest music videos I've ever seen with Rock DJ.
Good shit. Good shit.
Yes.
Oh man.
I was not ready for this. So if you go in blind, you're like, what the fuck this is? I mean, it's fine. It's catchy. Oh, nice little Tribe Called Quest reference at the beginning. I appreciate this. And then all of a sudden, he just starts stripping naked. I'm like, okay, well, what the fuck is this? This is interesting. And then he's completely naked, and all the dance floor stop, all the women look at him, and he just rips his fucking skin off, and then just starts throwing it around. He's now just like a skeleton, and it's bonkers, and I love it. I love that, man. This video will haunt you, and it's great. It's just, it's hilarious. Good. You remember it, though. I'll tell you that.
I was getting ready to reprimand you for going off of Scenario, because Scenario is a great fucking video. Like you mentioned, a Busta Rhymes verse, and I think even that, like even how he presents himself in that music video, kind of sets what he would do later on, and just kind of going all balls out. I saw Rock DJ for the first time whenever I was 5 years old. It scared the shit out of me to the point where I would not watch much music for probably like another couple of years. Like anytime I got to that channel, it's like, nope, we're changing it. I don't want to see this ever again. I revisited it like just out of high school or like grade 12 or something, and I'm looking at it, it was like, oh, CGI held up pretty well for the 2000s.
Surprisingly well, and it's fucking catchy as hell.
It's a
damn right it is.
It's a fucking bop and a half. Like I think
so I feel like this is a better fit because it's like it's different genres with each video, so it's not the same. So it's like a video for every kind of taste.
Yeah.
So
I think I have this in my top 10 dance songs ever. It's Robbie Williams is so crazy. He's another one that's kind of polarizing because you have stuff like this, very like jammy, funky, and then obviously kind of horror filled. But then you have others. You have like Millennium or like
which I love mostly because it's one of my favorite. It's one of my favorite James Bond songs. So the fact that they made that with James Bond, fucking absolute fucking bravo, fucking so yes, good. Please into my veins.
Yeah. Man, this is a great pick, a pleasant surprise. I did not think that this video would be coming up. Kelly, your thoughts?
Oh, I thought about this when I was driving to work yesterday. It came on my Spotify and he went, "Can I kick?" And I'm like, yes, you can. Like, absolutely. But I remember this. Did this come with a disclaimer, I feel like, when it was on TV? I have a funny feeling it might have been rated or something or other, because it's graphic, but in a great way. And Robbie Williams is just one of those really captivating stage persons. So this is real. It is well portrayed in this video of just how charismatic he is. And as we sort of said, it's bonkers and it's great. And what a way to sort of make a big global statement. Like, here I am. I'm a bit of a bad boy. I'm a bit of a larrikin. This is my video here. Get ready for it. So yeah, I like this pick a lot.
Melissa.
So the name of the song and artist seemed familiar, and I just looked at it on my phone kind of briefly, and yeah, you kind of just unlocked a childhood memory that I forgot. So I need to go watch it. But I'm like, yeah, I've seen this, but totally like forgot this was a thing. So thank you.
And Jake.
As a kid in the early 2000s, Robbie Williams was everywhere. I love Robbie Williams. I'm a fan. My mom and I are big fans. We are particularly a big fan of Let Me Entertain You. That music video is really fun. Him and his Joker clown makeup, the black and white look, it's great. But Rock DJ is so great. I just want to shout out the moment where he rips his ass cheeks off and throws it at a bunch of ladies.
And a lady just catches it. It's so good.
And starts just caressing it. It's very bloody. As he spins, all of his blood is just oozing on everyone. It's just it's really violent. There is a disclaimer though at the end of the music video. It does state that no Robbies were harmed during the making of this video. So there you go. But it is a very creative music video. He turns into a skeleton at the end. And I love skeletons, you know. So Spider-Man,
so good.
Skeletons. So.
I think it was I think it was around the same time. I forget if it was the Brit Awards or if it was the VMAs, but I believe he did this live for one of those award shows, and he came out with like just the flesh with the flesh
suit on. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
So oh god. Also, just want to quickly shout out. This is for Kelly and I. He played at the grand final last year. He was our Super Bowl. He was our Rihanna, like as far as like playing, and he did an excellent job. And
very good
out,
performer.
John Farnham, which was really great. He sang "You're the Voice." Yeah. It was awesome. It was one of the best grand final acts that we've had. Better than Meatloaf years ago, which it's a whole.
We don't talk about that. We don't talk about that.
All right.
Brooklyn, I don't want to interrupt you, but Beyonce had one of the greatest videos of all time. I've been sitting on that the whole time. For my flex pick, I'm picking Single Ladies. Oh god. And the iconic moment that Kanye West bestowed upon us when he interrupted Taylor Swift's VMA acceptance award, because I sort of agree this is the more superior music video. It is pop culture history at this point. If you do this, people know what you're doing. You're not waving like the Queen. You're doing the Single Ladies dance. The Justin Timberlake did it on Saturday Night Live. Those three people in a black leotard doing a bit of this one. It's so well known. And I really like it, sort of like what Melissa said at the start, where like you can either have the really creative ones or you can have those simplistic ones of people just singing and dancing. And this is one where it's really effective. And the choice to do it in black and white, I really like as well. I love the play of light and shadow that they put in it as well. It's tight choreography. It's a great song as well. I think this is just an all-around win.
Yeah, fitting the theme again of one take videos. I think whenever Justin Timberlake did it, was it Jimmy Fallon and was it Jack Black? It was.
Oh, I cannot remember.
I forget who the other two were that were.
You're muted.
You're muted, Bar.
Bobby Moynihan.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, similar to Thriller in those iconic dance moves. This is one, like the song in particular. It just magnetizes people to the dance floor, and even if they're just doing like the hand thing, they feel so much a part of it. It's also a black and white music video, which we don't see a ton of anymore. So I think that was another kind of bold choice to pay off. I can't really say much else about it. Bill, your thoughts?
Okay. I agree with everything said, but I think one of my personal favorite thing about this song and this video and its contribution to internet history is the Beyonce's always on beat meme that happened. I don't know if you're familiar with that, where it's just they took this video and they put anything on top of it, and she is somehow always in perfect rhythm. And I knew it peaked at its zenith when someone put it to fucking DuckTales, and it was immaculate. And if you haven't seen that, immediately after this, watch it. It's the funniest shit I've ever seen. I don't like she's just doom, and it's fucking funny as hell. It's great. God, I love the internet.
Right. Jake.
It really is a testament to like what Kelly was saying when Kanye interrupted at the MTV Music Video Awards. What did Taylor Swift win for? Because I never remember that.
Music Video of the Year, wasn't it?
Was it what?
Music Video of the Year at the VMAs.
But what
I think someone else had won artist.
What song
was it win? What was
You Belong With Me.
It was okay.
Oh.
Yeah. See, I never remember that.
Which is
I remember
forgettable at this point.
I remember
Yeah.
Kanye talking about it being on the single ladies. So I think when we look at just the most iconic shots, like we imagine the three dancers and Beyonce in the black and white, that is just like ingrained in pop culture. I mean, it's been parodied. It was on Glee. Like it is like instantly when it happened, it was like such a pop culture thing. I think it's a great music video. I mean, the simplicity of it, I think, is is what it's going for, like the best thing about it. And it's just like, yeah, this is all you need to make a good music video. It's just that sort of vision that it has. Yeah, I'm not a big fan. I mean, I'm just not a Beyonce guy. I'm sorry, but I do like the music.
Sorry, Queen Bee. Just say that now.
We stand Queen Bee. But
Yeah, we do, but not Kanye. You can go to fucking hell.
And Melissa.
Yeah, I love this pick. It's simple, it's iconic. I love the dance move. I mean, when you do it, you know what it's from. I will say I almost picked another Beyonce video. Well, she's more featuring in it. I guess just honorable mention now. Telephone with Lady Gaga. Because that music video is awesome.
Driving the pussy wagon.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know,
No, but
Lady
you're
Gaga
right.
really did kill it in the music video. She really did. God bless
She
her.
did. That's why I wanted to like do a little shout out because I'm like we didn't talk about her tonight.
Okay, now to rank these.
Good luck.
I will graciously accept my fourth place spot as I earned, and that's fine. But I've given you all something to take home. That's all I could really hope for.
Thank you, Bill.
Okay. In fourth place tonight, unfortunately, I'm going to have to give it to Melissa. You had some great choice, sentimental choices that I think have really good messages. I think they'll do better on rewatch as opposed to like that first time kind of grab. It's unfortunate we have to pick a last place, but yeah, you had some great videos there.
I don't care.
In third place, or sorry,
I would like to thank the Academy.
I'm gonna have to go with Jake. Jake getting third place. I think weapon of choice is your best one. My machines was great. But yeah, I think it was.
It's all because of the
don't know.
cooking and the Revolution 909.
It's about
I
the
was
fucking
screwed.
pasta sauce, that gravy.
I mean, if they made it right, you'd be number one with a bullet.
Okay. But you also had you had take on me, which is like another like that's gonna get you up there pretty quick. In second place,
What am I fucking doing here? I can't believe how am I still
You
here?
might, Bill. You might win.
Mr. Producer Man, pull up Bill's list and then pull up Kelly's list.
I mean,
And then yeah, throw on Kelly's. Which one do I like less?
I get it. It's fine.
Second place is going to go to Kelly.
What the fuck just happened?
Yeah, second place is going to go to Kelly. I think that her strategy was great in picking bangers. But there I was kind of filtering out kind of ranking the videos in themselves, and it's like, all right, well, it was honestly between Barbie Girl and Punk Rock Girl. And I was like, I think I have to go with that. I have to go with the other one. So, in a surprising win to himself.
I usually, as is tradition in my house, when I win things. So,
yeah. To be honest with you, Rock DJ kind of brought you up. You were holding middle of the pack, and then that flex pick kind of skyrocketed you. Mr. Crinkle was great. All caps was a fun find. You're on fire was kind of quirky enough, and then you educated a lot of us today, Bill. We have a lot of homework to do and a lot more music videos to explore. And I think we have to thank you, I guess, for doing that, and for everybody for bringing forth their lists and whatnot. Andrew, you want to pop in here for a second so that we can talk about next week?
Sure. First of all, everyone's a winner.
I was about to say, yeah, we all won.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brooklyn, like that's getting pre-recorded. That's not going live.
Okay, that's not going to be recorded. Okay,
nothing's going on. Nothing's going on next week.
Nothing is going on next week.
Why do you hide your mouth with your hand? We can hear you.
You can't hear me.
Look, I can hear everything you say. What cough you take the lead? But strap my nose, you cover.
All right. So set list. I guess to kind of forecast the year or whatever. Set list will be coming out very soon, whether it's next week or the week after. I believe everybody except for one person, but they'll probably get on at some point. Has been a guest on that. And then sooner or later we'll be getting the top 500 stones, or on our stones, or off our stones, or I'm not quite sure what we're calling it, but that will be coming out of the oven pretty soon. So I want to thank everybody for coming on. Melissa, Jake, Bill, Kelly, Andrew for trooping it behind the scenes with the gifts and the memes. See you guys next time, and as always, drive safely.